5 different ones. It's a little the game and insincere when that previous conduct, which is, although this is a serious incident.
All right, let's address that. Thank you. Is that true?
And this is what I've heard, between 7 and 9 children. And now the authorities have dug up another abuse case involving Adrian Peterson. It was like 2 or 3 years ago. 4-year-old. And his attorney, who's a real sleaze, said, "Oh, that's in the past." Like, what is that? What difference does that make? It's in the past. You know, you could be a mess or a serial killer, 20 years ago. So you're supposed to forget it? I mean, statute of limitations, it's in the past. Sounds like there's a trend with Adrian. And the sooner this is all resolved, the better for everybody, including in his family. I know him and his wife are divorced, but for the last time, with what he did to this kid, put him in line, I think cut his own throat.
Yeah. Last week I asked you, you're covering the NFL. You're an old school dude. Maybe Peterson thing, and you were basically kind of curve here. Actually, you've been ahead of the curve twice now on this radio thing. You're kind of saying, I get the feeling that, things, it's tough right now, and that there's character. Now they're finally becoming exposed. I mean, expose all of these. I think you used the term character problem.
They have to act as quickly as possible, Jim. You can't hedge on this. You can't drag your feet. You can't say, well, we'll get to a owners meeting or something. You have to act on it now. And the most curious thing in all of this is, does Roger Goodell, because marks against him right now, he lied. He wasn't truthful there. He stretched the truth here. He was uninformed in this situation, and the man is $4 million a year, and that's the best organization. There's so many answers to be approached and settled right now, and he certainly can't wait till next season.
Part of it is a public strategy. And by the way, you listen to AM 1230 WJOB in Hammond, Indiana. We have an accident on northbound Klein Avenue at the toll road. We also have an accident I-65 somewhere north of US 30. 2 people went into a wall there. 1 person went into a wall on Klein Avenue, and I hope everybody's all right. But one of the things here is, I lost my train of thought entirely. So where was I going with this? You're talking about the NFL going in this right now, and I've lost my train of thought. So I'm going to bring drop with James Gandolfini. Did you see it yet?
No, I heard it's pretty good.
Oh, it's a
Christina Cortez. Now turn your phone. It's time for the next generation of 30 WJOP. Tech Talk, entertainment news, underground music with Ainsley Jimenez, WJO Benzamera, and Christina Cortez. Now turn up your volume because you are listening to the one and only The Next Generation on AM 1230 WJO.
I hope you can hear me, Region. If not, we'll just keep sorting out technical difficulties. But this is WJO Ben here. Hey, I'm getting thumbs up that you can't hear me, and I'm just playing really distorted music probably because I didn't control those levels right. But yeah, let's see. Angel texted me. Angel, who's not here right now, texted me. Your Mac volume down. Turn your Mac volume down and the switcher knob up. It'll distort like a car radio, which some of you may be listening on right now, and I thank you for listening to me on your car radio. So I am joined today by Christina, who wasn't here yesterday. Christina, get on a mic and tell us how you are. I almost said who you are, but we know who you are.
Hey guys, what's up?
What's up with you is what I was asking.
I wasn't here because I was videotaping a play at Morden High School in Hammond.
Nice. So how'd that shoot go?
It was pretty good. Audio-wise, they didn't have any microphones, so we just kind of used the shotgun mic, which I didn't like, but I guess you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, I guess. Kind of like today. We apologize for the delay. Maybe we'll just take our show a little bit later than normal, so we can still give you guys, your money's worth as if you're paying us. And then also, like I said, Angel's not here today, so we are joined by AJ. Say hello, AJ. Is your mic on? No, his mic's not on, but I didn't turn it on for him. I should have done that, but okay. There you
How's
go.
it going, Region?
Hey, so AJ is a graduate of the Illinois Center for Broadcasting
In downtown Chicago.
Yeah, so he should, kind of know what's going on in here.
Yep.
And if you guys remember when we had Keelan Wendorf on the air, he's graduated with Keelan, so we're all broadcast buddies here. AJ, anything else you'd like to tell us about yourself before we get started?
It just feels good to be back on the air. I mean, I had my own show that was on a radio, a web radio station, but this is my first time being on the air, actually on the air and not on the internet. So yeah, I'm just happy to be here. Thank you for giving me the opportunity, Ben.
Yeah, we're happy to have you here. So we're going to go to some music, and we're going to come back and talk about a lot of things, including the biggest topic today, I think, will be movie reboots. And we're going to talk about one pretty notable movie that there's talks of reboots for, and then throw around ideas about what other movies we think should be rebooted and which others are untouchables. So think about your ideas for that, and you can maybe call in later when we talk about that. But right now, we're going to go out to a song called Clinical by the artist Pinnacle. So any moment on Next Generation, AM 1230 WJOB.
We come to stay weird. Stay Weird is oddball apparel from beyond, serving skaters, surfers, muscle growers, and skinny arm showers to the freaks, geeks, all around and in between. Find us on Facebook and Instagram and purchase our gear at stayweirdUSA.bigcartel.com. Stay weird, keep it kooky.
Are you looking to get your own music out there? Do you want to hear your music on the radio? Send it to us, the next generation. Just music along with a short bio. send it to facebook.com/next or email us at nextgen1230@gmail.com.
Hi, I'm Jasmine Jones of Jasmine Jones Photography, and you're listening to The Next Generation on AM 1230 WJOB, Hammond, Indiana.
Okay, now we're back. There we go. That's a lot better. Okay, hey, I keep goofing on like the things that I'm supposed to turn here, but yeah, I got that. So the mic thing was down. Ha, silly me. Anyway, our next topic before we like get into the stuff that I tease, because of course we're not gonna go and right into that. I like to torch you guys. But what we're gonna talk about is last night we were talking about the which series was it? We were talking about movies or TV shows like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. that are based off of a movie or movie series. Fill the void between the movies coming out.
Yeah.
And I said how I don't like that. And then naturally I go home and read that, well, someone's doing that. So I see that Guardians of the Galaxy has a TV series coming out in 2015. They announced this at the New York Comic Con that it's going to be an animated series based off the summer blockbuster Guardians of the Galaxy. The series will center on Peter Quill, aka Star-Lord, Gamora, Drax the Destroyer, Rocket the Raccoon, and Groot, and debut in 2015. So like same standpoint as yesterday, I'm against that. I feel like that just ruins. I wouldn't watch that. If people find that cool, like that's cool, but I would never watch that. I don't. It's just against my opinion, like to do that. So what do you guys think about this one in particular? And neither of you were here yesterday, actually. Now that I think about it. So what is your opinion on TV series coming off of like a movie like that, especially a movie that's not like done? Like, there's going to be more movies of that franchise.
I think they're gonna collide.
Yeah,
You know,
me
the
too.
movie and the TV show. Just with the stories.
I could see them like kind of
Yeah.
colliding. I could see them having like, I guess, subtle collisions where
They have to have the same writer, otherwise there's could be so many inconsistencies in plot and storyline that everything's going to get so mixed up.
because I'm sure they can anticipate that most people, like the average moviegoer that just goes like, oh, that looks like a cool movie. I'm gonna go see that. You know, they're not gonna be someone that watches the TV series, and there's just gonna be people like me that don't like believe in that. So
Yeah.
I think there could be like subtle like references or things to the TV series in the movie, but it's not going to be anything crucial. It's just kind of, you know, there might be like an inside joke that everyone that hasn't seen the TV show will be on the outside of when they say it in the movie, but I think that's as far as it'll go. But I still I don't like this idea, especially because Guardians of the Galaxy was so good. Like, I don't want anything to like jeopardize how good that franchise can be, because the first one was so good, which was surprising. I went in thinking I wasn't gonna like it. So that's always,
I had the same feelings when I went to go see it.
that's always a pleasant
But
surprise.
The thing that I'm kind of remembering when I heard you were talking about this earlier was when I'm a Hellboy fan. I love those movies; they're great. And I tried to watch the 2 animated movies that they came out with, Sword of Storms and Blood and Iron, and I couldn't watch it. They were made in between the 2 Hellboy movies, and they were so bad. I didn't even watch Blood and Iron. I started watching the first 5 minutes of Sort of the Storm, and I shut off because it was so watered down compared to the real movie. I just could not watch it. It was so bad, and I can see that happening with this Guardians of the Galaxy spinoff that they're doing. I just see it totally being watered down, boring. No, not gonna have many fans of it.
Yeah, yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see because Agents of Shield has held up. I'm pretty sure.
I
Like-
haven't seen it though.
Like that's lasted, but it'll be interesting to see, especially with this one being animated, is where I really have to wonder how it's going to last.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see about that. And then I guess we'll go into some kind of less entertainment news now. It has to do a little bit more with football, but that's kind of. I said AJ went to the Illinois Center for Broadcasting. He likes to do sportscasting,
Yeah.
so we'll give him one that's like it's a sports story, but it's also just like one of those feel-good, fun news stories as well, kind of. So, AJ, tell us about that.
A teenager named hold on, I'm looking for his name. Colin Delaney, 15-year-old battling leukemia, got signed by the Eagles. He's on the sideline right now while they're playing the Giants on NBC. So yeah, I mean it's a great story to see. The Ron McDonald House made this happen. So it's just one
Yeah.
of those stories you see stuff happening like this all the time.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's like a good happy thing.
Yeah.
You don't hear happy things on the news enough, but the next generation is all about bringing. So I remember there was one really bad week where like everything on our show was bad news, but other than that, we normally do, lighthearted news. So there you go. All right, we're going to go out to another song here. We're going to play a good old song called Rewind, sorry, by Chiral and Banco. That's a pretty cool one. And if you're on the video stream, maybe you'll see me dance a little bit. I don't know. But if you want to check out that video stream, where you can also see, I just realized me and Christina are somewhat color coordinated right now. You can check that out and more on the video stream at youtube.com/nextgen1230. All right, here you go. Here's Rewind.
Hi, I'm Jasmine Jones of Jasmine Jones Photography, and I serve the Chicagoland area. I do weddings, birthdays, portraits, and other events. And if you'd just like to know more about what I do, check me out on facebook.com/jazzjphotography2. That is J Photography 2. And check me out and see if you like it.
Stay weird. Stay Weird is oddball apparel from beyond, serving skaters, surfers, muscle growers, and skinny arm showers. Get your weird gear at www.stayweirdUSA.bigcartel.com and find us on Facebook and Instagram. Stay weird, stay weird. This is Stay Weird, and you are listening to The Next Generation on AM 1230, WJOB, Hammond, Indiana.
Hey, we're back. This is WJ Ben. If you're just tuning in, we've been talking about a lot of movie news, and we are going to talk about some more movie news that I'm like pretty excited about in a way, but also this kind of has me a little bit worried. So, we'll see. What that news is, it's about Interstellar, the Christopher Nolan's new movie that comes out November 7th, 2014. So coming up pretty close to that, and
Yep.
I'm a big Christopher Nolan fan, and
Me too.
this movie's been hyped up for like so long. Like they've been talking about it since like the early stages of production, and it feels like at least a pretty long production because I really liked Inception. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, and then the Dark Knight
And then
trilogy.
the Dark Knight trilogy is I don't really know anyone that doesn't like that. Honestly,
Why?
that's like one of the most undisputedly good trilogies out there.
Have it on DVD.
Me too.
Yesterday I talked about like this study I did for my math class about people's preferences of if they prefer to own things on DVD or digital downloads, and I think it was like a whopping 76% prefer to own things actually like on DVD or Blu-ray or VHS. Or VHS, maybe. I don't know.
And then you hear these people saying like, "Oh, DVDs and CDs are gonna be gone in 10 years." I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I'll also buy my stuff.
and then when it came down to how people watch most of the movies that they watch throughout the year, 48% of people said Netflix. I remember of the people that I surveyed. I want to do a bigger survey on this actually, but to get maybe better results. Said Netflix had like whether it be rental or ownership, like hard copies of the of the movie, like a DVD. So that's pretty even. People like think that they're going away, but I really don't think it feels that way, to be honest. And we did a story last week about Redbox ending their subscriptions because they didn't get enough, or ended their streaming because they didn't get enough subscriptions. So yeah. So the fact that you both have Dark Knight on DVD, I do too. Yeah, that proves something.
Blu-ray.
If it's or that. So that proves that if it's good enough, people will buy it in the solid version. But anyway, Interstellar, like I said, they there's been a little bit of a teaser from one of the actresses, the movie starring Matthew McConaughey, Anne Hathaway, Jessica Chastain, and various other people.
Michael Caine.
Michael Caine.
Don't leave him out.
Oh yeah, definitely. I was just actually about to say that one. It's basically got the cast of the movies we just talked about, Inception and The Dark Knight. Like it's like the Christopher Nolan cast. Like if he has a new movie coming out,
except for McConaughey, I don't think he's been in many.
I don't think
Nolan
he has
movies.
either. I don't know if he's been in any, but there's those few that just they every time, and it's kind of funny how noticeable that is. People, there's this YouTube series. I'm like trailing off again, but whatever. There's this YouTube series it's called Honest Trailers. I sent AJ one today.
Oh yeah,
it's hilarious because it like makes fun of like all the little nitpicky things, and then there's when they make fun of look up the Transformers 4 one. It's like one of the best ones they've done.
Yeah.
But when they made an honest trailer for, I think it was for The Dark Knight, they're like from the cast of Inception, and then like they were just showing all the people like split screen in both movies, and it like calls people out on all kinds of things like that. Anyway, the teaser we got for Interstellar was Jessica Chastain says it's definitely a love story. That's the only thing that worries me.
Yeah.
I thought it looked so epic, and if it's gonna be so focused on a love story, now I'm getting worried.
Yeah, and I can't figure out who it's gonna be between. Is it gonna be between? Well, the thing in the previews, I'm like, it's the father loving his daughter.
Yeah.
So maybe that's
not in a creepy way. Just to clear that up.
Yeah, it's family love. It's a family love story. So I can see that, and I'm okay with that. But like between McConaughey and Chastain, or him and Anne Hathaway, no.
Yeah,
it's not worth seeing then.
It looks like a pretty like suspenseful movie from what I've seen, and I'd like it to focus more on that aspect rather than a romantic aspect. Actually, the full quote from her when they asked Chastain for a teaser was, "I'll tell you a little bit. I'll tell you about my character. I play a woman who is like a scientist. She's super, super smart and scientific, and she's not whole at the beginning when we see her. There's an emotional part missing that we then wonder, does she become complete by the end? Is there that journey?" And she would say, yes, there is that emotional journey. So I don't know. From the quote, it kind of sounds like it's more of a subplot, like subtle thing.
Yeah.
But
and then
still
that you see the photo of McConaughey and Chastain standing next to each other.
Yeah, if you look, we're looking at the article on E online. So if you want to go look it up. I'm really pumped for this movie though. Other movies I'm excited for. What, you got something else?
No, I was just thinking, like, where have I seen Jessica Chastain before? She was in Zero Dark 30. That's probably where everyone knows her from. She was the what was her name in that? It was
I've never seen that.
Maya, the head CIA woman that's trying to track down Bin Laden. For those of you who have not seen Zero Dark 30, like Ben.
What are your opinions, Christina? We didn't hear from you on Interstellar.
I haven't really looked into that movie, so I don't know much.
Do you like Christopher Nolan? Besides how we talked about The Dark Knight, anything like what do you like? Do you like Inception?
I've seen Inception. I think that was a great movie, actually. That's one of my cousin's favorite movies.
Nice. But anyway, moving on to other movies that are cool sooner than Interstellar, but the movie Fury is coming out, or just came out, right?
No, it comes out this Friday, the 17th. You want me to take this?
Yeah, go ahead.
Stars Brad Pitt, Shia LaBeouf, Logan Lerman, Michael Pina, Don Berthel, Jim Perrick, and a whole slew of other cast members. Takes place Germany or April 1945 in Europe. The Allies are advancing, and it's this one tank squad. I think 2 tanks. They're behind enemy lines, outnumbered, outgunned. Rookie soldier that gets put into the platoon, and it's just the overwhelming odds that they have to fight through. And the reason I want to see this movie is because my grandpa was a tank mechanic in World War II, but he was in the Marines. He was fighting the Japanese in the Pacific. But that's one of the main reasons I want to see this movie is because, you know, it's a tank battle movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of a cool thing for me to go see this.
It looks really intense, and one thing I was surprised, Shia LaBeouf, or how you say his last name, not my pronunciations, but like I don't think he's been in anything in a while.
No, well, he was in
last I remember is Transformers 3. I don't think
that mob movie.
Yeah,
about
sounds
bootlegging.
I know what you're talking
the
about.
bootlegging movie that
Okay.
just came out. It was like 2 years ago. Hold on, I can look up Shia LaBeouf's IMDb page.
Yeah, it sounds familiar, but
I've seen that movie, the one you're talking
about.
Okay, you don't have to say "oh" while you're looking at it.
Sorry. Lawless. I think. Was it Lawless?
I don't know. You're the one looking at the IMDb.
Lawless.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought so.
So yeah, I'm excited to see that one. And then one that just came out this past weekend was The Judge with Robert Downey.
Duvall.
Two Roberts, yeah.
Robert Duvall and Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, and that one looks pretty good too. I remember when I saw the trailer for that. It's like not your typical movie that I would like. I feel like it seems to be more of a, how would you classify it? Like drama?
No, it's not really a courtroom drama. It's just a drama, I think.
Yeah.
Comedy drama?
He's like a lawyer.
Yeah,
that doesn't
yeah.
make it a courtroom.
Well,
drama,
I would
but
really say it is a comedy drama.
here's the
there's gonna be chemistry between Duvall and Robert Downey Jr. to make it comedic.
well, kind of. Yeah, the description is big city lawyer Hank Palmer returns to his childhood home where his father, the town's judge, is suspected of murder. Hank sets out to discover the truth and along the way reconnects with his estranged family. So pretty much Robert Downey Jr. is playing Hank, and then his father is the judge that it mentioned, and yeah, they haven't talked in a while, and you know, kind of he's being a lawyer, he's expected to try to defend his father with these accusations.
Yeah, and his dad doesn't want to do it.
Yeah, so I think it looks like a pretty interesting, kind of like compelling story. It's one that I'm interested in seeing, especially because Robert Downey Jr. He's good. But yeah, speaking of Robert Downey Jr., we've got some more exciting Robert Downey Jr. news coming up, but I'm gonna make you wait for that because I'm all evil like that. So instead, I'm gonna play "Breakfast Gravy" by Homemade Spaceship, and
That sounds interesting.
right? It's
Yeah.
like all kinds of cool words in there. I'm gonna play that, and then after the break, we'll reveal this other Robert Downey Jr. news. So here we go. Here's Breakfast Gravy, Homemade Spaceship. Are you looking to get your own music out there? Do you want to hear your music on the radio? Send it to us, The Next Generation. Just like our Facebook page and message us your music along with a short bio. Send it to facebook.com/nextgen1230, NEXTGEN1230, or email us at nextgen1230@gmail.com.
Stay weird. Stay Weird is oddball apparel from beyond, serving skaters, surfers, muscle growers, and skinny arm showers. Get your weird gear at www.stayweirdUSA.bigcartel.com and find us on Facebook and Instagram. Stay weird, stay weird.
Hi, I'm Jasmine Jones of Jasmine Jones Photography, and you're listening to The Next Generation on AM 1230 WJOB, Hammond, Indiana.
Hey, region, who you gonna call? 209-845-1100 if you have any comments on the upcoming topics. That actually was a little hint at what we're going to talk about in a little bit. But right now we're going to get back on that Robert Downey Jr. topic, which has to do with Iron Man 4. We talked a little bit recently about how he said, Robert Downey Jr. recently said that he didn't want to do, he originally said he didn't want to do any more Iron Mans.
Mm-hmm.
And then he apparently said if Mel Gibson directs it, he'll do a fourth.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Apparently he said that, which we're like, whoa, that's random. But that franchise has been like the most successful Marvel one, so he has so much leverage over what he wants that, I mean, they want, no doubt the studio probably wants another one. Yeah, anyway, he went on, Robert Downey Jr. went on the Ellen DeGeneres show, and we had a caller and we lost him. If you're listening and you just called, please call back because we didn't get you in time, I guess.
Yes, please.
Callers, you need to have, this is happening a lot of times. People like, if we don't answer in like 10 seconds, I feel like they hang up. So, come on, we'll get to you.
Impatient.
Anyway, Robert Downey Jr., well, for one, like we mentioned the news coming from Comic-Con.
Mhm.
And Robert Downey Jr. says, he said this recently. I feel like I'm the mayor of Comic-Con because that's how much leverage he has to get like what he wants in the next Iron Man installments if they were to make them, because he's that big of a deal. But anyway, on the Ellen show, he said something that seemed to imply that he would be making an Iron Man 4. But then that turned out to be false. So, well, I guess things could change. But right after that, right after he went on the Ellen DeGeneres show, he went on the Late Show with David Letterman and like said, no, there aren't plans for a fourth Iron Man. Mentioned that he will star, he's working with Marvel Studios on another project, but he didn't ask for probably just another Avengers movie. Like he'll show up for the Avengers.
Because
he
aren't they
probably
supposed
doesn't
to
want
do-
his own standalone movie again.
Aren't they supposed to do like 4 Avengers movies or 3 of them?
I was under
I
the
think-
impression there were 3.
Yeah, I think 3.
So he's, although I thought his contract already had him down for that, and it sounded like he implied that there was another one in addition to that he's now working on them with.
Who knows?
So who knows? He's being kind of confusing here. And what specifically was said, there's no plans for Iron Man 4. There's no script for Iron Man 4, but I'm gonna do other stuff with Marvel. I'm still gonna be involved with Marvel. That's what he said. So, we'll see what comes of that because
yeah,
he's so perfect for the Iron Man role. Like it's so hard to replace him. And it's gonna be interesting to see when they, reboot Iron Man. Who can, the superhero movies are like movies that they'll just keep rebooting. There's been so many Batmans. There's been 2 Spider-Mans now.
And the new Spider-Man reboot was so much better than Tobey Maguire.
Oh, what? Okay, we're getting into a movie debate right now. Hold on.
Negative.
Listen to this dramatic silence. Yeah, that's how serious this is getting. We're not going to have background music for this debate. Why do you think that the new Spider-Man is better?
It was better because he was younger.
He's younger. So you just
Having
didn't-
Tobey Maguire when he was like almost pushing 30, playing a high schooler, did not look good to me.
So, all right,
As an actor, he's pretty good. He did pretty well, but the writing for 2 and 3 wasn't that good either.
okay.
The first one was good. Don't get me wrong, but the second
3
one and the third one, the
3
third one was horrible.
Tobey Maguire 3 was. Oh my gosh, we just lost the caller again. Seriously, that was like 5 seconds. Are you just playing?
5
with us?
seconds, people.
Oh, geez, that's loud.
Give me 10 seconds to get there.
Yeah, come on.
10 seconds.
Here's let's go. Stop yelling. It's loud in my ear.
She's
Okay,
not-
there's like she's like talking on the air and answering phone lines, so she has to have time to like turn her mic off, turn over to you, and pick up the phone. So just a little patience, please. I want to hear from you callers. 219-845-1100. Call back. Anyway, Tobey Maguire Part 3. That was a disaster.
yeah.
But
2 was pushing it. You
2
gotta admit, 2 was pushing
with Doc Ock.
yeah,
Too.
it was.
That's
it
my
was pushing
favorite
it.
one.
Oh,
Wow, these are differing opinions here. Like Doc Ock is like so cool.
I liked William Dafoe as the Green Goblin.
Oh,
I thought he
you-
was an amazing.
You like
Green
love
Goblin.
William Dafoe, so like that's why you got
What?
that bias.
I've seen him in like 3 movies.
I know, and you love them. They're like your favorite
The
movies. So-
Boondock Saints movies.
yeah. So that okay, clearly that's understandable. If Robert Downey Jr. was in it or something, like I'd like it more.
He would have been on the drugs then probably when he did those
Yeah.
because yeah,
Oh,
that's the
we're
thing
going
I
way off
like.
top.
Okay,
Okay,
go ahead.
Anyway, the Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man, the new franchise of it,
Yeah.
that has managed to screw up quicker than the Tobey Maguire series, in my opinion.
Well, at least with Gwen, they kept to the comics and killed her.
Oh
off
yeah,
pretty
spoiler alert!
fast.
Spoiler alert!
Oh,
Wow, you can't.
Who
do
has
that.
not seen the second movie yet?
I'm just making sure because that's like a big spoiler. But the problem with the third one was too many villains,
Yeah.
and like, the second one like just jumped straight to that. I just thought something. Next time that lights up, the phone line lights up, I'm just putting them straight on the air. Wait to like see who it is. So yeah, seriously, call 219-845-1100. But anyway, interesting stuff with the whole Spider-Man debate right there. How did we get on that?
Marvel.
Yeah, but oh yeah, I was talking about. I was
Robert Downey
trying to
Jr.
do a clever segue into the next segment, and it turned into a debate. Okay, I said it's gonna be interesting to see who plays like Iron Man in like a reboot of when they eventually get to that point where like this whole long 3-phase Marvel plan of the Avengers and all that is done, and they start rebooting things. That's gonna be interesting. But the reboot news we specifically want to talk about is Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters is apparently rebooting with an all-female cast, which that's a very. Tell us more, AJ.
And well, okay. So the thing, the first thing I heard was Bill Murray better be in it. Same with Dan Aykroyd. I mean, we can't have Harold Ramis in there anymore. Sadly, rest in peace, Harold. You were a great Chicagoan. So yeah, and Bill Murray, he actually said initially he does not want to be in it, but he's happy. He is supportive of an all-female cast or all-female Ghostbusters, and he recommended Melissa McCarthy, Emma Stone, Kristen Wiig, and Linda Cardellini. Cardellini.
I'm not on board with a lot of that cast.
Yeah. I'm like, Emma Stone, let her do Zombieland 2 first before they do another Ghostbusters.
Listen, I'm like on board with a female Ghostbusters type movie. Well, actually, first you said one of them is like supports this.
Bill Murray.
Yeah. So Bill Murray supports that. Now, Ernie Hudson, what was his character's name? You had it up on here. I forgot how to say it.
Which one?
Ernie Hudson.
Oh, he did Winston Zeddemore.
All right.
Zeddemore.
Yeah, however that's
Yeah.
pronounced. So he spoke out against this, and this is the quote he said. I just want everyone to know this is not what I'm saying, because this is not what I'm saying. This is what Ernie Hudson said. Quote, "I love females. I hope that if they go that way, at least they'll be funny. And if they're not funny, at least hopefully they'll be sexy. I love the idea of including women. I think that's great. But all female, I think, would be a bad idea. I don't think the fans want to see that. Maybe it'll come out and be the most amazing thing. But in my opinion, I think it would be wrong to do a movie that didn't include the guys. And that didn't include me." So, end quote. So, for one, towards the end of that, you can tell this is a little bit personal.
Mm-hmm. So he's not going to be in it.
Yeah.
That's one thing that they're doing wrong, I think. And Dan Aykroyd's not writing it either. He wrote the first two.
Yeah, well, here's one thing. I'm okay with, like, I don't want them to be in it as like main things,
No.
or even their own characters. If they're rebooting it, like if it's actually a reboot and not like a continuation where like, okay, we're too old now, let's get a new team and train them type thing. If it's a pure reboot where it's like, just restart from back then and new characters or the same characters, new people playing them, then like Bill Murray, I'm okay with him having like a cameo as like or something, like
I can see him like
example, Lou Ferrigno being the security guard in the Hulk movie. Remember that? He was like the original Hulk guy.
Yeah.
And he played the security guard in one of the most recent Marvel movies of the Hulk.
Yeah.
Like that,
Yeah.
I'm cool with if Bill Murray does some kind of random
you're
appearance
talking
like
about,
that.
Are you talking about Avengers?
No.
When he comes crashing through the roof?
No.
Okay.
He's the security guard in the Hulk movie.
Okay.
The one with the dude before, like, I don't remember the guy's name, but before they recasted the Hulk guy again, not the disaster of a Hulk movie, but the actual good one.
The Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
Okay, where he fights the one
where he fights Abomination.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Lou Ferrigno's in that for like 10 seconds, but
okay. Yeah,
if
I know
Bill
what you're
Murray
talking
does
about.
that, I'm down.
Yeah, or I could see him being like a professor giving a
something
speech and like Ghostbuster Girlcast or listening to his seminar. That's what I see happening. Like he's a professor.
Yeah.
Still like in the original movie.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, that's what I see happening.
And then, Christina, you got any input on this? Like,
Not really. I don't really know too much about that.
all right, all right.
Have you seen Ghostbusters, Christina?
No, I've
Oh,
never
I
seen
was about to say, please tell me you've seen it.
it. No, never seen it.
All right. Well, the thing is, I'm on board with there being like a female type Ghostbusters movie, but I don't. If it's not like a reboot where there's like, I think if it's called Ghostbusters, it should be a mix.
Mhm.
At all guys or a mix. If it's all girls, call it something else. Maybe do like a cool, funny play on words, but like don't like
Like-
call it that because. But also you have to be careful because people are going to be like, if you don't call it Ghostbusters, it's going to be referred to as that's that cheap ripoff of the Ghostbusters. So you need to, for one, make it clear that you know you're ripping it off, kind of, and then people will be on board with it. If you like kind of accept that, and it's like how they're making the female version of the Expendables.
The
and they're calling it
Expendables.
Expendables. Cool play on words. I'm down with puns.
Yeah.
You know, so that's great.
The
And-
initial, for those of you listening, that was that Cameron Diaz is supposed to be like the Barney Ross type character in that. For those Expendables fans listening,
Yes.
So yeah, I'm excited to see that because I like Cameron Diaz and I could see her fitting in that
But
role.
Seriously, who are you gonna call? 219-845-1100 if you have any comments on this. 219-845-1100. We've had 2 calls now that that have hung up right when we were about to answer them. So like, please come on. I want one of those callers back. So tell us what you think about the reboot. And then here's the other thing I want to talk about now that we're on this whole thing. Like, we're getting to that point where like everything's kind of been made in a way. So like people are rebooting things, and then people that like grew up with the original version, a lot of Ghostbusters reboot because they think it's like an untouchable. So like, what makes something like? I don't think Ghostbusters is untouchable. Honestly, I think that's one that you should and can remake.
Yeah.
Because I think no matter like when it originally came out to now, I think people enjoy it. I think it's a fun movie to watch. And it's just like, like there's certain movies where like kind of it's like the time period and it's like good then, but like if it came out now, it doesn't like have as much of an impact on people. But like Ghostbusters, you can like in any time period that you can reboot, have different people, and people will like it. One that I think should be rebooted because I've heard some talks, not necessarily from actual studios about this, but just fans saying, like, "Hey, reboot ideas." Indiana Jones. I'd love to see that rebooted.
I'm on the fence about that because I love Harrison Ford as Indiana Jones. I mean, I was Indiana Jones for Halloween like 3 times growing up. I love those movies with a burning passion as much as I love Star Wars. Seeing a reboot of that, I'm really on the fence about it. I mean, 4 was bad enough.
Yeah, 4 doesn't like count as an Indiana Jones movie.
No,
it's
that's
just
why it
needs to be.
movie.
That's why it needs to be rebooted because they can't continue after that. I've heard people at one point they had wanted to continue to make a 5 and a 6
with Shia LaBeouf.
With Shia LaBeouf
Yeah.
being kind of the main character, and Indiana Jones transitioning more into character of number 3.
Yeah, actually,
I'd be interested in seeing that.
Me too.
I wouldn't mind if they did a 5 just to experiment with that a little bit. But like, seriously, don't do the alien stuff.
I just remembered like months ago when I was still at ICB, I did I read a couple articles how Harrison Ford said they're thinking about an Indiana Jones 5, but it wasn't confirmed. It was like on Movie Pilot or something.
Yeah, they
like
thought
that.
about 5 when they made 4. So
Yeah.
I don't know, but okay. So you're on board with or no, you're not on board.
I'm kind of on the
You're
fence
like
about it.
next.
It depends on if
Christina?
they have Shia LaBeouf in it.
No, a reboot,
Or
not
say-
a continuation.
a reboot? I'm on the fence about it.
Okay,
Yeah.
Christina, do you want an Indiana Jones reboot, or do you not care?
I've never seen those movies
Oh
either.
my gosh! Aren't you the one that's only seen one Star Wars movie too?
Yeah.
What is wrong
Which
with you?
one?
She's seen
The
number
third.
3.
Yeah.
That's
Oh
like
my
the one that makes the
God.
least sense to see because that's like you haven't seen the original, which is like you need to see that, and you haven't seen the 2 that lead up to what happens. You're at like the point that joins 2 trilogies.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know what's going on.
And don't even do it that
I don't
well.
know why you look at that. So okay, well, my opinion is it's a fun adventure movie, and there's so many different things, so many different storylines
Mhm.
you could explore there because every movie was kind of independent of the others. You know, like there's movies like Star Wars where it's the same story throughout all 6 in a way, but no.
Ooh.
But then Indiana Jones is its new adventure every time. You could just make an infinite amount of adventures, really, and you can't do that forever with the same actor because it'll get old. So
You know, what if they did more young Indiana Jones movies? I haven't seen those myself, but they had a
like as a kid,
they
No,
had
I'm
them
not on
beforehand.
board
I
with
know.
that. no,
But-
I'm talking reboots. Here,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah.
I would cast for the reboot Bradley Cooper. I think he'd be a solid Indiana Jones.
Yeah, I could see that.
And I'm with
Yeah.
you here because I really like Indiana Jones or Harrison Ford as him. If there's gonna be a reboot, it has to be cast very well
Mhm.
for me to be on board with it. All right,
I could see
now,
Bradley Cooper doing that.
I'm just gonna
actually.
throw out a few more movies franchises here. We're gonna go through these quick. I want to know your opinion. Is it untouchable or can it be rebooted? And we'll just go through a few real quick. Back to the Future.
No.
Please tell me you've seen this, Christina.
Yeah. Untouchable.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. We all agree. Back to the Future is untouchable. That's like the
Yes.
best franchise like ever. So good. We're all three. of
Where's
us
my
together.
hoverboard?
Right. Yeah. Seriously, that comes out next year. And then what's another one? Star Wars. I don't.
Well, they're continuing it
they're
anyways.
continuing it to like a 3rd trilogy, so I don't think we're at risk of a reboot at this point.
No.
So Christina can't really comment here.
Yeah.
So I think that's both untouchable and not go. I think they're just gonna keep continuing it. Honestly, I could
Yeah.
see them continuing that for like ever, because they'll just keep building off every. The new trilogy is probably gonna be like the kids of like Luke and Han Solo and every.
Yeah.
Well, not together, but
Just follow the comics. Just follow the comic strips.
yeah. So yeah, no reboot there. Terminator reboot.
Are they going to keep out Arnold and not
He's like
animate him into
60
the
something.
movie this time?
Well, they're making a 5th one now, and
and
are-
he's in it.
and
yeah.
are planning a 6th. So I'm talking post 6, where like not to like be dark here, but we don't even know that Arnold will be around, you know, at the time that they want to reboot.
Yeah.
So we're talking a non-Arnold reboot. Would you?
They'll just have his son play him.
They're not even like the same size, are they? Like,
Yeah,
is he-
actually, his son-
son's big.
Yes, he's huge. He's like
So
he has
you're
a
on
bigger
board.
chest
You're on
than-
board with a reboot.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure. Why not?
Yeah, I'd reboot Terminator also. I think that's one that's worth rebooting.
Just make sure James Cameron writes it.
Although the thing is, if you look in one thing I find interesting when you look at how the future is depicted, from like the 80s, let's say, and how the future is depicted from like movies of the last 5 years.
hmm
Back then, look at the Back to the Future's depiction of the future.
It was the future.
It
It
was-
was the present time with
it's-
a couple changes.
Well, no, there were flying cars, there were hoverboards, all kinds of cool like.
yeah, a couple
it
minor
was-
changes.
It was, well, yeah, but it was colorful and stuff.
yeah.
Now look at like Elysium or something.
Oh my god.
And
yeah.
it's like a desolate wasteland. That's what the Earth is, and so many movies are like that. So I fear that like the way that the perception of what the future is going to be like has changed will change what they make the Terminator reboot into. So they have to be careful there. But other than that, I'm down for that. All right, well we're gonna go out to a break. That was a fun discussion right there about reboots.
Is there any other right now before we go to break?
Harry Potter.
No.
You can't really change it because
Oh.
you have to follow the books.
That's
You just change the cast. That's all you're gonna
No.
change.
yeah.
Unless you just
So it'd be-
reduce. Just,
well, that's like a reboot is.
yeah.
like-
But you're just changing the cast. That's about it.
Well, same with Spider-Man. It just changed the whole spider. And
Well, it's completely different villains though.
Okay, yeah, there's
Right
different things
now.
you can explore there, but still,
Yeah.
it's you.
What
When
can
they
you really
reboot-
change in a reboot of Harry Potter?
Well, like include things you left out of the original time in the books. I don't know, things like that.
Just redo the sixth
Actually,
movie.
fun fact: J.K. Rowling just actually hinted that she's making more Harry Potter movies. So
You mean books?
movies, I believe. She's a screenwriter now. She's not. She's gone into screenwriting. I don't know,
What?
man. It's ridiculous. I think she needs to stop. But
She's richer than the Queen of England already. She can stop.
all right, well, you know what we're gonna listen to? We're gonna listen to "Hyena" by Pinnacle. We're gonna do that right now, and then we're gonna play Catchphrase. If you want to play Catchphrase, 219-845-11. Once again, 219-845-1100. All right, here's Hyena. Are you looking to get your own music out there? You want to hear your music on the radio? Send it to us, The Next Generation. Just like our Facebook page and message us your music along with a short bio. Send it to /nextgen1230, NEXTGEN1230, or email us at nextgen1230@gmail.com. Hey, WJO Ben's back right here with Christina and AJ in the studio, and
Yo.
it's game time. We're going to play catchphrase as we do most weeks. We didn't do it yesterday because we had a lack of people here, but it was just me and Angel and we didn't have callers, but so it's like hard to do. But we are going to do it today, and we would like a caller to play with. And if we don't get a caller, we'll just do some weird 3-person adaptation in the studio. But what catchphrase is, if you don't know, there's going to be a phrase on the screen of this little game that I'm holding. If you're watching the video stream, you can see it. I have to get the other person on my team to guess what the phrase is without saying any words. I can't say any words in the phrase, and I have to get them to say every word in the phrase. So that's quite challenging for some people, Angel. And yeah, if we could get a caller, that'd be great. If not, what we're gonna do is it'll be me versus Christina, and we'll both have to get AJ. We'll just take turns trying to get AJ to guess something here. So, but
Great.
yeah, the category is entertainment, so it's usually like actors and stuff that we're getting you to guess. So
Yeah.
any callers? 219-845-1100. We got someone on the chat board. Let me see if I can.
Get them to call.
Yeah, so someone's like, I've got reboot opinions. Is it too late? So I'm gonna have them call in, and then tell them that they're actually calling catchphrase. And the good thing here is there's a 1-minute delay on the video stream, so they're not gonna know that the chat board's next to the video stream. So I got him good. All right, so we're waiting on that caller, but for now, we're gonna talk about teams, and the person calling in should be my dad. So I will let Christina pair with my dad, and I'll pair with AJ.
All right.
Because then oh wow, we just got 2 callers. Let's see who the other person is actually. So that actually this is an interesting development here.
Yeah.
Her work right there. So this is gonna be totally different now. I was gonna say I don't want to be paired with my dad because there could be like personal connection, like, hey dad, it's the color of your car. Keelan on line 1 or on this line is Keelan, and then the first one's John, or is it John? Just put one on the air. Just put line 1 on the air. All right. Hold on. Okay, now you're on the air.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey.
Oh, so this is my dad, John. Good.
This is Reboot Talk.
Yeah, Reboot Talk. You actually, yeah, we'll do that. You said you had some reboot opinions before we get started with catchphrase? Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll rattle down them rather quick to get to some of my points. The no's that I have, I say no to Terminator, Back to the Future, Harry Potter, and basically any horror flicks. I don't think they need to be redone. They should just try something new. And probably one of the, I don't know, I'd have a real hard time being sold on a Fast and Furious reboot.
Oh, good. I agree with no Fast. Fully agree there.
Now,
fully agree about the horror movies. Come up with something new. I'm glad
they make like 16 of them, like the Halloweens and the Friday the 13th. We've seen enough of them. We don't need them rebooted.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. And I'm glad we're all on the same page with Back to the Future. And then I agree with Harry Potter. I was just throwing that one out there, but I agreed. Harry Potter would be a silly reboot.
What about Indiana Jones?
I like the Bradley Cooper idea. And like Ben said, if you cast it right, then it's okay. If you don't, it's going to be an epic disaster.
Right. Then why aren't you on board with Terminator?
Well, and I'm speaking like for the first 3 only. I think they should have left it at the first 3 and ended it.
I agree there too.
And I don't think the first 3 are remakeable. I think those are classic Arnold's, and I don't think there's anything replacing that.
3 wasn't even that good. I didn't like 3.
3 is my least favorite.
Yeah, because James Cameron had nothing to do with it.
Of the first 3 is my least favorite.
Yeah.
Salvation's actually
it was kind of like the original trilogy, let's say.
Yeah, it still fits in.
Yeah.
It's not saying it's bad. It's just it's if
Correct.
I had to pick a least favorite.
Well, yeah. Superior than that, but
right.
But also, like with the Back to the Future, I think the whole charm of that movie was, when it was made, they were predicting the future basically now.
Of course.
And if they're going to reboot it, and keep the same timeline, they're going to be showing the future we've already lived through. I think that would be boring.
I think if they rebooted it, they'd rewrite it a little bit to where like he'd go back in time from 2015 to like the
1985
or something. Yeah,
where the movie
90s.
happened.
Yeah,
that would be interesting to see. I guess if they just made a different set of years that they. I wouldn't want them to cover the same span they did last time. To simply redo the same years would be terrible.
And of course, everyone's perspective of the future since the 80s when we first predicted it in movies like that, like the ones we're talking about,
Correct.
to now is different. So you're not going to get the same glamorous future in Back to the Future and have people like buy it, whereas in the 80s, people actually thought that was our future.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'm a little tired of the way they depict the future now, where it's all doom and gloom. And
Yeah, like I said,
that's getting boring to look at.
Elysium, District 9, like...
Yeah.
both from the same person, but yeah, like all bad. So, did you want to do a round of catchphrase?
Maybe, but I have one series for a good reboot.
Ooh, okay, tell us.
The Mad Max series.
They are doing a new Mad Max movie that I heard about.
Well, that's good because when it was made, it was a cool concept, but the movies didn't really.
Myself, I need to watch them.
Yeah, they're that was your first look into the doom and gloom of the future.
Kind of like
those.
Book of Eli.
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah.
But Mad Max was a character that was cool enough for the movies and everything, but a lot of special effects and a little punch to the movie.
Right. All right, we're gonna move on to catchphrase now. I explain for anyone who doesn't know how it's done. Dad, you're gonna be paired with Christina.
Okay.
I'm gonna be paired with AJ. Then we can't have it's the type of car you drive, type easy cop out ones, there should be less easy guesses.
Yeah.
Then. All right, we're gonna play to 2. We got someone else that wants to play here too. So
who?
You'll see. Just stay tuned in.
All right.
Don't want to lose you listeners. All right, here we go. First, everyone's standing now. This is gonna. You guys could sit. I'm just standing because I have a headset I can walk with.
Is there a category we're doing, or is it just random?
It's entertainment. We always do that.
Okay.
Okay. All right. I'm getting AJ to guess first. It's a band that made the song "Living on the Edge."
Oh man. Was it Van Halen?
No. They got a Guitar Hero based strictly off them. They Ragdoll.
Aerosmith.
Yeah. All right, Dad, you're up.
It's a book, novel, kind of
Harry
old.
Potter?
No.
What?
He was a president maybe 20 years ago.
Richard Nixon.
No.
No, one that got shot.
Hey,
Ronald
who's
Reagan.
team are
In
you
Dallas.
on? Oh, did it just go off? The buzzer went off?
Did it?
Yeah.
Oh.
All right. That was Kennedy. All right. Yeah. AJ, don't give the other team clues. All right. That's a point for team 1 right there. All right. Here we go. Round 2. It's there's a Daughtry song, "Long Live."
Rock and roll.
Yeah.
That one's a repeat.
Rock and roll.
No, that
1 hour.
60 minutes.
Yes.
All right. Then. Boom. I don't like these.
Click.
Okay, came before Facebook.
MySpace.
Yes.
Oh, that's so easy.
Jesus.
Should we have a click limit, maybe? We'll talk about that later.
Oh my gosh. It's similar to Facebook. Little bird, blue.
Twitter?
He quacks. He's a cartoon character.
Donald Duck.
Yes.
Oh gosh. Dang.
Oh, that was good, AJ. We were really crunched for time there. All right.
I heard the clicks. I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, it was really going fast. Okay, thanks, Dad.
Okay.
We're going to move on to our next caller now.
Okay.
Oh, he was going to say something, and wow, I feel bad. Well, sorry. Right now, I believe.
Hello.
Hello, Keelan.
Hey, Keelan.
How's it going, guys?
Good.
Pretty good. All right, I guess. Good. All right, you're here for catchphrase?
Yep.
All right. I guess we'll keep me and AJ paired up, see if we can be defending champions.
Ben always wins.
There's been a trade in the offseason. Christina has acquired Keelan Wendorf, and yeah. How do I Yay, okay. Resetting this. All right, entertainment category. Christina, you can start this game, actually. I'll let you start.
All right. I just press next.
Yeah. Oh, actually, no, you have to press start, I think. Yeah, first time you have to press start. Here you go.
He's a part of the Peanuts group. He's like the main one. Cartoon. Snoopy.
Charlie Brown.
Yeah.
I was like, how did I get this? It's like a phone book. There's a color, and then it's a phone book is a color.
Book. Oh, the Yellow Pages?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a movie. He runs. He was in the army, Vietnam.
He
no
runs.
idea.
That's so easy.
Magazine for persons.
People magazine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Team 2 just got it.
Yeah.
All right, I'll start this round. Go. It's your siblings. Just
Family?
your siblings are your like the male version and the female version.
Sister.
No, both.
Oh, brother, sister?
3 words.
I have no
You said both of them. There's just a conjunction.
brother, sister.
No, that's the first word and the last word. What connects them?
Brother and sister.
Plurals.
Brothers and sisters.
Yes.
Okay.
That was way harder than it should have been.
Yeah.
He was in Transformers, first movie, main character.
Oh, Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
Okay. It's oh man. Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Okay. He's Robin's sidekick or the
Batman.
I just lost.
Point number 2.
We're only playing the 2,
Comeback.
right?
Yeah.
Can we have a third caller so we can do best 2 out of 3? I want a third caller.
Nice
up in
job,
here.
Keelan.
All right. Yeah. Thank you, Keelan, for beating me.
No problem.
That's really hard to thank you for, but yeah. Thanks for calling in. Have a good day. Goodbye now. Wait, nope. Yeah, that button. Okay. All right. So yeah, if we don't get a third caller for a best 2 out of 3, I guess we're just ending the show because we're just past 11 o'clock right now. I'm running a little low because we started like 20 minutes late because of reasons. So, you know, I'm totally down for a third match if anyone wants to call. 209-845-1100. All right. Well, it's looking like we're not going to get anyone, so I'm just going to wrap this up. Really good show. I really liked the all the talk about reboots. I think that was fun to hear everyone's opinions on that, and I like how we have a lot of the same opinions, a couple differentiating ones, some that are like dependent on factors of like casting and stuff. So that's all pretty interesting. But yeah, tune in next week. Angel should be back. Christina, I expect will be here both days.
Woohoo! Yep.
Woo! I expect that I will be here both days. Should be like a full cast here. So enjoyed the show today, and we'll just play one last song here before we go. Just let me pick one because I think I played like everything on my playlist. You know what? I'll play one called Cadillac. That sounds cool, right?
Right.
I wish I was driving home from the show on a Cadillac, but all right. Well, thanks AJ for filling in
No
for
problem.
Angel. last minute.
Anytime.
Thanks Christina for doing things.
No problem.
So yeah, here's Cadillac.
We come to stay weird. Stay Weird is oddball apparel from beyond, serving skaters, surfers, muscle growers, and skinny arm showers to the freaks, beats all around and in between. Find us on Facebook and Instagram and purchase our gear at stayweirdUSA.bigcartel.com. Stay weird, keep it kooky.
You just listened to a Region Flashback.
Al, I don't know where to talk. You're kind of the NBA or the NFL beat writer for the Times now. And Adrian Peterson, you said to me